Two ships of the Iranian Navy have rounded the southern tip of Africa, becoming the first Iranian Navy ships to ever enter the Atlantic Ocean. This comes just days after Iran's largest Navy ship caught fire and sank. It appears that the two Iranian ships are heading for Venezuela, which would have significant geopolitical ramifications. Here are the details. The Drive reports that two ships of the Iranian Navy have reportedly rounded South Africa's Cape of Good Hope and appear to be heading into the Atlantic Ocean. The two ships are the frigate Sahand and the Makran, a converted tanker that looks like it's designed to be a mobile base. This latest news comes 2 days after the Kharg, one of Iran's largest and most important naval ships, sank after suffering a major fire, the causes of which remain unclear. This would be the first time Iranian naval vessels have operated in the Atlantic, and previous reports have indicated that their final destination is in Venezuela, where they might offload a shipment of weapons. While it is still unclear if the ships are carrying any weapons, satellite imagery suggests the Macron is carrying a number of small, fast-attack boats that Iran has used to harass U.S. naval ships in the Persian Gulf. If Iranian Navy vessels gain the ability to operate in the Atlantic, analysts say it would be a significant step forward for Iran, which has tried and failed to do so in the past. The Pentagon says the delivery of Iranian weapons to Venezuela would be a provocative act and a threat to America's partners in the Western Hemisphere. The Pentagon said, "We would reserve the right to take appropriate measures in concert with our partners to deter the delivery or transit of such weapons." Iran's Navy has formally commissioned its largest vessel, the Makran, a former oil tanker converted into a logistics vessel with a helicopter pad. Here is what we know. State TV reported the Makran joined a missile drill in the Gulf of Oman on Wednesday, January 13th, according to a report by the Associated Press. The new Iranian vessel is only slightly smaller than the U.S. Navy's Expeditionary Sea bases, which are 764 feet or 233 meters long, and are also derived from oil tanker designs. The Macron was converted from the oil tanker Persian Gulf. Citing Iranian state TV, the Drive's War Zone blog reports the 121,000 metric ton Macron is 748 feet long, 138 feet wide, and 70 feet tall. Per the War Zone, Iranian media reports state the Macron will be able to carry 6 or 7 helicopters. Video posted to YouTube by the semi-official Tasnim news outlet shows RH-53D Sea Stallion, AS-61A4 Sea King, and AB-212 ASW helicopters flying from the ship, as well as what the War Zone identifies as an indigenous Pelican II drone. It's not visible in these pretty pictures, but one can assume that the flight deck also has a giant IDF target painted all over it. But hey, one can always dream.
Iran seems to be making advances in their weaponry, and it's got Pentagon officials worried. On Sunday, Iran test-fired a high-speed torpedo into the Strait of Hormuz, a vital passageway for most of the world's oil. The Hooch torpedo is believed to have a sophisticated guidance system and a range of 6 miles. The underwater missile uses supercavitation to reach speeds of up to 250 miles per hour, 4 times faster than a conventional torpedo. Iran has been testing the powerful torpedo over the past decade, most recently in February of 2015. This latest exercise was most likely testing the weapon's speed, as it did not appear to be aimed at a target.
The U.S. Navy revealed that attack boats of the Iran Revolutionary Guard harassed 2 U.S. Coast Guard vessels just after the U.S. and Iranian governments committed to new negotiations. Here are the details. NBC reports that a group of Iranian vessels from the country's Revolutionary Guard harassed 2 U.S. Coast Guard ships for 3 hours in the Persian Gulf earlier this month. The U.S. Navy said on Tuesday that this was the first such incident in a year, and the encounter on April 2nd came just as the U.S. and Iran had restarted negotiations on reviving the 2015 nuclear agreement between Tehran and world powers. 3 Iranian fast attack boats and 1 larger ship, a 55-meter twin-hulled vessel, approached and swarmed the Coast Guard ships at close range. The larger Iranian ship repeatedly crossed in front of the 2 U.S. vessels at an unnecessarily close range, coming within 70 yards, according to a U.S. Navy statement. Some regional experts say the Revolutionary Guard has sought to provoke tense encounters in the past to undermine Iranian diplomacy with the West. Iran's foreign minister recently said the Revolutionary Guard has often undercut his government's diplomacy and that he himself had zero influence over foreign policy. The ongoing tension between Iran and the U.S. is considered to be one of the world's most dangerous political power kegs that could ignite and explode into a third world war. That's because any military conflict between the two nations would likely draw in all of the world's most powerful countries. Iran's military on Saturday admitted that its air defense system had shot down Ukraine's Flight 752 by mistake. Citing Iranian official statements, the New York Times said the passenger jet had been misidentified as a U.S. cruise missile. After days of denial, the government's confession sparked protests on the streets over the regime's fatal mistake. The New York Times reports that the Tor is a mobile system carrying 8 missiles that can be operated without input from other air defense infrastructure. Citing defense analyst Steven Zaloga, Bloomberg reports that the missile's guidance system is unable to distinguish cruise missiles from military aircraft or civilian airplanes. Citing Flight Radar 24, Bloomberg reports that the Boeing 737 made a slight right turn 2 minutes after its takeoff from Tehran International Airport, which was normal. The plane was clearly transmitting its identity and position until it climbed to about 7,900 feet of altitude, presumably because it was hit by missile fire. The plane plunged into a field in between the cities of Parand and Shahryar. All 196 passengers and crew were killed. Due to the Tor's indiscriminate guidance system, most nations do not operate the weapon without connecting it into a command structure. Bloomberg reports that according to Zaloga, SA-15 operators are not supposed to fire without authorization. Iran showcased its growing arsenal of weapons over the weekend, just weeks after deadly anti-government protests rocked the nation. During rallies commemorating the 39th anniversary of the Islamic Revolution, Iranian leaders unveiled 2 new homemade missiles, the Ghadr and Fajr 5. The Ghadr is a nuclear-capable medium-range ballistic missile, which experts say bears striking similarities to North Korean technology. It can be launched from mobile platforms and is equipped with a radar-evading system. It's also capable of striking Israel when fired from within Iran. The Fajr 5, meanwhile, is a long-range artillery rocket fueled by solid propulsion that is being used by Iran-backed anti-Israel groups like Hamas and Hezbollah. The Islamic nation currently holds the region's largest arsenal of ballistic missiles and continues to develop them despite international criticism, most notably from U.S. President Donald Trump.
For more news animations and explainers, hit the subscribe and bell button to join the TomoNews family. Thanks for watching.